Okay, we got our cable here. This is for the front camera, and there's two different connectors on here. Look and see how one of them is a 90 and the other one is a straight through. We want to run the straight through all the way up to the front. Now how we're going to do that is we're going to run it from the back to the front through this hole here, and once you get the wire on the other side, then you can pull it through. Here it is right here. You can look down on this. We're going to fix that rubber when we're done. And we're just going to pull it through quite a bit because we know we're going to need quite a bit to get to the front. So we pull it through, and we're just temporarily going to lay it over here because this is the path that it's going to take up to the front. It's going to go up this way, and then we're going to go underneath this bracket to the front. Okay? Let me get a fish stick. Okay, what we've got here is just a flexible piece of steel. It's a fish tape, and we cut it off because we don't need a whole 50 or 100 or 25 foot of it. We taped a piece of string on the end of it for us, just leaves it flexible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fish this up to the front. Alright, so what we did is we got that flexible tape just fished through underneath the gas tank, and it goes way under and comes all the way up front. You can see it sticking out up front there. And what we did is we took the wire, and the wire is taped onto the fish stick, and then we taped the string onto the wire with some tape. Use that Scotch 30 Plus again. We want these connections to be really small so they'll fit through there without taking the gas tank off. That'll save you a lot of time. And who wants to deal with gas anyways? I don't want to. Okay, we're going to pull this through, and I'm going to have my partner in crime here, Mr. Maverick. Go ahead and give that thing a little pull, Mav. There we go. Now the string's going through, which is going to give us a flexible pull on this. Going to let the wire go through, and he's just pulling it through. There it is. I'm holding it so we don't get locked onto anything. Now he's not going to pull all of it. We got enough there to go to Toronto and back, or Niagara Falls. So we're going to connect that front camera up, and then we're going to go ahead and connect the wire, tape the wire connection, and then pull the service loop back. We're going to leave a little bit service loop in the front so you could unplug it if you need to replace the camera. Otherwise, the cable won't be very long. We drop down underneath that bracket of the gas tank, so we're going to come up above it, and there's the end of the cable. We're going to pull a little bit back because we know we don't quite need that much. And then we're going to start throwing tie wraps on. We're getting real close. Okay, so next up we're going to cut these tie wraps off this brake cable plastic unit that holds the brake cable. Now these little tie wraps are just plastic. You can pull them out once you cut them. And then there's some tabs on here you've got to pull to get the unit to open up. And there's a screw in there that we use for mounting the camera. So if you pry this little tab back, well, I can't do it with that finger. You pry this little tab out and back, and it'll pop open this little compartment here. Okay, see that? And then you do the same for the other side. Once you get it popped open, you hold it with your finger so it don't lock again. Oh, I almost locked it. Okay, then you just work it off. Whoopsie. Compartment open. Once this is open, we get the two tie wraps off here. This little screw we're going to take out. This guy right here. It takes a Torx bit. We're going to grab that little screw and take it out. So once you get the drill bit in here, I've shortened up my drill a bit to get it in here because the space is so close. Just reverse it out. Get your fingers ready because it could fall off since I'm not using my bit holder. There's no magnet here. Notice it had Loctite on it. Everything on the motorcycle gets Loctited. If you don't have a self-locking nut, Loctite is your best friend. Pretty easy installation. What ends up happening is that this little bracket goes behind the brake line and then up here through this hole, and it gets mounted with that screw right through that hole. Gotta get your Loctite on your screws. This is just a little tube here. It's about $3. Get some Loctite on here. It gets on everything. Once you got your Loctite on, then what you're going to do is you're going to take your camera, and right now we can see that this camera is upside down. Okay, so we need to turn this camera over. Yours probably won't be, but this one is. This is the way the camera should look. Wire coming out the bottom. We know that's the bottom of the camera. We're going to mount up in there behind that bracket. We're going to grab that screw that we put some Loctite on earlier. We're going to slide over here. It's pretty simple. You just reach your hand underneath here, put the screw in through the plastic, put the screw in through the metal, and back into the hole. And you tighten it up. Once you get the screw started, you could use your tools again to to go ahead and torque it in there. And we're going to do that now. It's very lightweight, doesn't require a lot. The camera itself is very lightweight. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to screw this screw right here back in. Oops. Sorry about that, Mav. Oh, you can't see it. Doggone it. Okay. Once that guy's back on there, you can tie wrap this back closed again. This little tab's not going to reach the plastic again, but that's okay because the two tie wraps are going to keep it closed once we put those on.